Alright guys, hello, welcome to the video. We're going to be looking at a game that I played in the T100 LT on Mannerheim line, and I'm just going to let you guys know this game ended up being a draw. I think that a really good player in the T100 LT could have won this game. If I'm being honest, I think I played it pretty gosh darn well, but I just couldn't quite figure out how to get the win at the end. We kind of got split between going after one of these Foshes and also trying to clean up the Artie, and at the end I just didn't have time to kill the Artie. That's really what happened at the end. I basically won everything else, but I just didn't have time to go after the artillery. So we're on Mannerheim line, right? And this bush, I like this bush, man, for spotting this line. I know a lot of light tankers like going here. At the higher tiers, I just feel like it gets blind fired way too much. So I'll put myself here. I like to sometimes go here if I'm in like an even 90, right? But I would not recommend going any further than this bush right here. You can go here again, like if you're in a really small, like maybe the Manicore can do it at this tier, but I just stay here because you have like 500 something view range and you can just spot these guys. Now, all these guys missed, so like it is what it is, man. If you go here, you can spot people sooner and all, but I feel like this gives a decent mixture of being able to help the tank destroyers at least get a shot or two, and also keeping you alive, and it's not as risky, right? So once those initial spots are done, I come up here, and I think eventually I was going to head to the north, but most of this game we just played defense, right? Because both Foshes were pushing the north here, and we had already lost this. So it's a minute and a half into the game, guys, and I want you to pay attention to this, right? It's a minute and a half into the game, and both Foshes are here pushing the north, and within 2 minutes we're going to basically completely lose the north side of this map. So I'm driving over here thinking, okay, like how can I manage this? And then the Centurion appears as well, and it's just like the Leo doesn't have any HP, the FE already lost all his HP, then he goes down, and now it's just the Centurion event, against these three people, and I'm like, dude, I already need to get out of here. Like I can't even sit here. We're gonna be in defense mode the whole game, pretty much. And we didn't really take the south either. So this whole game really becomes just a defending scenario, and I'll show you that. I mean, we can fast forward. I try not to, but like that's pretty much what most of this game is just sitting in the back, spotting people, waiting for them to push up, because there's nothing else we can do safely here. Mannerheim line is one of those maps where, like, if you lose portions of this map, it's very hard to really do much, because as soon as you go into this middle area here, you're so exposed, man. Especially like in this little ditch right here, you're so exposed that you just can't really flank or make anything work when you have limited map, right? There are some maps where if you actually have a little bit of map, you can still kind of make things work. You know, maybe Muravanka or Westfield or something like that, right? But like overall, on most maps, it's very tricky to make things work with limited map, right? So you can see both these guys are pushing in here. I'm looking to get shots into someone, right? So I'm going to poke up one more time again. We are getting some spotting on the Foch. Going to respot the Centurion. And at this point, I need to kind of hug this corner. We have two 155s and a Foch B, right? They got like a crap ton of Foshes on this team. And they also have two ship barns. And it's just like, dude, you got to be really, really careful. You know, when you play light tanks, man, like, I'm telling you, 2 shots from these guys, and, like, that's pretty much my game, right? So I'm just trying to be very, very conservative. I'm trying to poke up in the bush here and just wait for these guys to push in. Like, look at all the red up here, man. That is unlit. And we have our ship barn in the back, Grilla, VZ, you know, and these guys, Leopard 1, another Foch and all. Like, we have people in the back that can help basically defend our base. And that's what we end up doing, man. Like, just literally, like, look how much map we have right now, guys. So the fact that this even became a draw, like, this is our map right here. We probably have like a fifth of the map at best right now. Like, just our base area we have, right? And what you'll notice, and for people that might be new to my channel, I say this a lot, but what you'll notice is the less map you have, generally speaking, the less you're going to, like, win the game, or the less chance you're going to have of winning the game, right? And it's just the case. It's just the scenario that we find ourselves in here. Eventually we're going to lose the south as well, and like, look at the map we have, man. We literally own a little slice of this map, you know? Like one slice of pizza on a whole platter of pizza, you know, a whole thing of pizza. We have one slice of it. That's what we have in terms of map. It's 3 to 9. We're down 6k HP. How the heck does this end up being a draw? People just throwing their HP away, you know? So I take a shot at the Foch here, and that's really what it becomes, man. People just throwing their HP away. We get a little bit lucky, maybe. Foch doesn't hit me here. I'm trying to back up, see if I can snapshot this guy as he comes through. The gun depression on the T100 LT is really bad. Do not get caught trying to poke up and take shots, man. Like the T100 LT's gun depression is -5. It is some of the worst gun depression you will find in the game, with the exception of like some artillery tanks that I know can barely put their guns down. But yeah, it's bad, man. So we're just trying to poke up in these bushes. We're just trying to spot people, man. What's good about the people that are pushing in, excuse me, is that some of them are one-shots, like the Foch 155, right? He ends up going down to the VZ. And then you have over here the Centurion and the T29. 60 TP's half health, but both these guys are basically one-shots to people in the back. So that's good, right? It means that it's easier. The AMX 13105 is also a one-shot. It means that all these people in the back here are rather, all these people that are going to push in to my teammates that are kind of sitting in the back here, they're going to get wrecked because they don't have the HP to spare. The 60 TP does. He's being kind of passive. You can see me looking at him here. But all these people are eventually just going to push in erroneously, right? And the good thing about this portion of the map compared to the southwest spawn is that the northeast spawn is actually easy to defend. Because you can put someone up in this corner. People will blind fire it a lot. We actually didn't have anyone here, and people thought that someone was up here because you can see the blind fire, right? But there's bushes. There's all these bushes. It's not the same in the southwest, man. It is not like this at all. It is much, much easier to push the base on the southwest than it is to push the northeast. And this is what I find on this map, man. You just have all these little pockets of bushes, right, that people can hide, and then you also have this back corner, and you can see like people trying to shoot back here thinking that someone's back there, and no one's back there. You know, I'm sitting in this bush. We're out spotting anyone that's going to come relatively close, right? FE is poking. We spot him immediately. So I got him lit here. Kind of trying to wait for him to go behind these like trees right here, kind of, and I'm going to take the shot. And my hope is that I don't get spotted, right? And I don't. So if you put your shot, if you kind of wait for the tank, their enemy tank, to go behind some bushes, who knows with the FE, because it was such a big tank, it was going right over those bushes, right, that were over there. But you never know, man. Like, you might get lucky with the game mechanics. I'm going to snapshot the AMX 13105, and that goes in, so we clean him up as well. But you always want to try and wait and hold your shot until someone is going to put their tank behind bushes, so you can just use the game mechanics, right, and not get spotted because your shot is going through foliage. And that's what we did there. But again, with the FE being such a tall tank, it might not have mattered. He might not have even had the view range. Who knows, man? But I do it anyway, just because I don't want to give away my position if I don't have to. And I'm going to take the shot all the same anyway, you know. So regardless if I get spotted or not, it's not changing that much. But I'd rather do that, right? So now I'm going to take an HE shot or an HE shell and put it at the FE. Here's the thing, and someone asked me recently, Whirls, like, why don't you use HE? You know, we saw your game. There was like 2 people that made comments on this. We saw your game on what was it, Muravanka, and you don't utilize the HE shells. Like, why don't you utilize the HE shells? Pause. I'm going to tell you guys why. Look at the shell velocity on the HE rounds. Look at that shell velocity, 460 meters a second compared to the APCRs, which is 1200. This is why I don't like shooting the HEs, because shooting the HEs on this tank is like lobbing baseballs. Like, the shell velocity is really bad, and then on top of that, these 2 do 300 a shot, these do 360. It's almost not even worth it, because if you end up missing say we take 5 shots at the FE 4005, right? We take 5 shots. In theory, we would do 1500 damage with the standard shells. If we miss 1 shot of HE, or it doesn't pen or something like that, and only does like 150 because it hits the side of the turret weird, because it's only like 50 millimeters of pen, Now we have to end up doing a whole nother shot just to make up for it. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Because it's only 60 more damage a shot on the HE shells. So in other words, if we hit 5 HE shells, we would in theory do 300 more damage, right? But if we miss just one, now we have to do a whole nother shot of APCR damage just to make up for missing that one HE shell because the shell velocity was too slow, or it didn't pen and we only did like 150, which in that case, my phrase here of, you know, doing another 300 damage with this shell wouldn't really make sense, but you guys hopefully can understand what I'm saying with this. On a tank like the Hawk 30, it's different because you have these faster flying HE shells, right? Or like the M4190GF, right? You have these faster flying HE shells that do 80 more damage, I think, a shot, and they also have a lot more pen. So the chance that you're going to miss or that you're not going to pen are much less likely. But that's my reasoning for not always going to the HE shells. We did it here. We still hit the second shot for a low roll of 299, so that one didn't even matter. And then the first one hit for what, like 380 something? So like, to me, it just doesn't really make that much sense unless you're really, really close or you have a very, very clean shot on an FV or something with no armor. I don't even bother shooting the HEs, man. Like, close quarter combat's the only time I'm going to use them because they're just so slow, right? And they don't have that much pen that it's almost not even worth it because you can just snapshot with the APCRs. So that's my explanation for that, and I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you guys can kind of understand why I don't like lobbing baseballs if I don't have to. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So we see the 60 TP here. I'm going to try and take a shot at this guy's lower plate. It flies a little bit high, is what it is, but we have to start using our gun, man, and trying to eliminate enemy HP at this point. The 60 TP ends up going down to our VZ55, it looks like, and now I'm going to start moving around. I want to relocate at this point because we've actually brought this game back, so I'd like to relocate and try and reposition myself so that people aren't aware of where I'm going to poke up next, right? We spot the Foch 155 in the meantime, someone gets a shot into him, and now I'm going to see if I can try and hit this Centurion, and he's pulling back, and now what I'm thinking is, okay, what if I just run all the way around? Right? Like, I can actually run all the way around. I was hitting the Windows key when I thought I was hitting Control. We can run all the way around. The problem is the Centurion's up high enough where he spots me going away from here. So I'm going to slide, kind of pretend I'm going to poke on him like this, and then Artie ends up killing him so I don't have to go around anyway, right? And now we're at the point where, what do you do in this situation, right? I could have come back and tried to support the VZ55, but at this point, I want to try and do something different and give myself a different angle on the Foches. Now the Foches end up pushing in and kill the VZ while I'm over here trying to clean up the T92. So they kill the VZ, and it's like, I could have been there to try and help this guy, but I wasn't. I ran away, I killed one Artie, and now I'm going to run back because it took the Foches this long to try and get involved, right? As soon as I go to run away, they get involved, and it might be that because I ran away that they got involved, right? But it is what it is. Now look, we're going to try and take this shot into the Foch. Then the Foch B appears. I'm going to load the APs that do more pen. And I'm going to try and take a shot at this guy. It misses. Now we're in a situation where these guys, in theory, could cap out, right? We have a 155 that's a one shot. We have a Foch B that's a two shot to me, and we have a two shot Artie on their team that I haven't even spotted yet. So it's like, what do we do in this situation, man? Right? So they're capping. I'm actually going to run this direction. Like, I'm going to go rather this way, right? Because I'm backwards over here. And I want to try and catch the 155 out. If I can get a shot into the B first, I will. I'm really, really close to this guy. I'm just amazed I'm not spotted. This is just concealment. We're able to hit that shot and reduce the time on the cap, so now I'm not worried about the cap pressure. I'm going to kind of fake these guys out, make them think I'm going to poke here. As soon as I go dark, which is pretty much as soon as this guy goes dark, I'm going to move. Artie hits me here, it is what it is. But as soon as I go dark here, I'm now going to go this way and try and fool the 155. And I'm hoping that I can surprise these guys by being quick about this. They think I'm going to poke here for a couple seconds, and instead I'm going to appear here before they go, wait a minute, he's not poking, and you know, they get a little more conservative maybe. So now I'm going to try and fake out the 155, and we're able to come up and around. Unfortunately, this guy turns quick, but I am able to get the shot into his cap. Luckily, RNG kind of worked well for me here. But, like, this is tricky, man, you know? Like, we could have tried to come all the way around and get even a better angle, but it's like at this point, you're running out of time on the clock, right? So at this point, I'm going to wait until I go dark again. Artie hits me again here. This is why I absolutely despise Artie, but, like, I'm the only tank on the enemy team, so I can't really complain that much. The Artie's going to be shooting at me. There's none of my other teammates are alive, but I'd like to try and eliminate the Foch B first. So now what I'm thinking is, okay, what if I come up and you just run out of time, right, man? What if I come up on this side? I'll be able to spot the Foch maybe from back here, right? So if I can spot the Foch from back here because he wasn't capping, I'm like, this guy's probably on the move. I might be able to hit him from across the lake, from across this little lake here. And then if I hit him here, I have more time to go after the Artie. The Artie appears. I end up loading the secondary shells for whatever reason. I'm not sure why I did this, but I just switched over. The GWE-100 actually has some armor. So I'm going to try and hit him here. It hits the track, and it's like, goodness gracious, man. So now I'm at this point, I'm like, I need to try and go for the Foch. If I can eliminate the Foch in the next minute, maybe I have a chance, right? So I'm just going to fast forward at the very end here just a little bit, guys, so you can see the angle I'm kind of taking. I'm trying to go around so that the Foch doesn't spot me. And I'm going to try and go after this guy. The problem is we just run out of time here, man. It's really that simple. We just run out of time, and I probably should have just tried to go right after the Foch. So here we go. Luckily, he misses the first shot. And we're able to clean him up. If the guy had just stopped fully, maybe he would have been able to hit me, and our game would have been over. But it's like, at this point, you have to take the risk, right, man? You have to take the risk to try and go after these guys. Artie hits me again here. Obviously, right? Again, I'm the only person on the enemy team, so he's going to go after me. And I just ran out of time, man. Like, I tried to go after this guy. He ends up hiding in the back. Of course, he's going to try and take the draw. Like, I'm not going to be mad at this guy for not wanting to, you know, fight. Take the draw, whatever, man. If I'm the enemy Artie, I would have just ran right after the light tank because I want to try and win, right? A draw is as good as a loss, so I never play for draws. But some people will. Some people will play for draws, I suppose. I think it's kind of pathetic because a draw is literally a loss on your stats. So, like, I'd rather just play for the win. It's not like in soccer where you get, like, a point for a draw or something, right? Like, it's not worth anything. So we just ran out of time here. Artie goes for the draw. He runs away. 4 kills, 2908 damage visible, 2839 assist. And I think we got one shot of blind damage, I believe. And we'll see in the end plates. But that's it, guys. That's it. 3,043 spotting, so it was a little bit of blind spotting. No blind damage, 2908. This is basically 6K combined, right? And I thought it was a good game. It's just we just couldn't quite get the win here, man. And I was thinking for the longest time, like, this was my last game the night before, or 2 nights ago. And I was just like, you lay down in bed, man, and you're like, how could I have won that game? You know? But it just, to get a draw out of it in the first place, that was challenging, man. Because you guys saw how many tanks and how much HP we were down by. So, they already played well. E5 played well. The Foch played well, right? And on our team, I think our Leo played well and all. We had a couple good guys that stayed in the back, especially this guy in the Gorilla, Baboon 3. This is our 3rd Baboon clan. He played well. And it's just like, you can only do so much, man. We tried our best. Here's the detailed report, guys, and I will let you guys go. For your information, you might not see as many videos from me. I'm burned out, guys. I am playing World of Tanks. Like, I can only play so much, and I have been doing a video a day with the exception of the Super Bowl yesterday, Christmas, and New Year's. I've been basically posting a video every single day for, I think, like 4 or 5 months. So there might come a time where I go a couple weeks without posting. I just want to give you guys this information before I let you go, if you do watch the video to the end. I hope most of you do, but I want to give you guys this information because, like, eventually, man, it gets to a point where I just have to play some other games, man. I've even played some other vehicles. You'll see sessions in, like, some tank destroyers and a heavy and stuff. Because you just get to the point, man, where you're just done, man. You're done with the matchmaking. You're done with the bad games. Like, you just play too much of this game, and I'm getting to that point again. at this point, right? Like, I've just played so much World of Tanks, and I do enjoy doing the content for you guys, but it can be tiring, right? So on my days off, I do like to try and do a couple other things. But with that being said, guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not just going to disappear on you, but I might go AFK, if you guys want to call it that, for like a week or two, right? Just to play something else. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. I really wanted this win, man, but it is what it is.